This isn't motivation. This is a wake-up call.
The clock is ticking and it stops for no one. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, then understand you can no longer be complacent in where you currently are in life.
We live in the greatest country in the world that gives us an opportunity to live a life of contribution. Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind.
Get a list of the stuff you could do and you haven't done, postponed, and start cleaning that up. You can't start at a better place for personal change. That'll affect your bank account, affect your future, affect your income, affect everything. You can't start a better life change process than cleaning up what you should be doing.
I know, based upon my own experience, that I know you've done things that you feel good about and that you're proud of, but I can tell you, you have so much more in you. You have so much more in you than you can ever begin to imagine.
You see, dreams without action are merely illusions. It's time to wake up from the slumber of wishful thinking and step into the realm of reality. Those dreams are what God has put in you that makes you special, but you will always just be a faceless image in the sea of those who just dream. Take that first step, no matter how small it may seem. Action is the key that turns the door, which opens the next step towards your goals.
The man says, well, my mother lives down in Florida. Should have written her 6 months ago. I just can't seem to get that letter written. I'm asking you to get that letter written, clean that up, and don't walk like other people walk. Don't postpone like other people postpone. You say, well, is it as simple as writing a letter? And the answer is yes. Where else would you start for life change, personal change? You don't need a pink package to fall out of the sky. You don't need massive bombard, pre-conscious, subconscious. Practice channeling, find a 2,000-year-old guru. I mean, you don't need any of that stuff. Pass on all that.
Your power is beyond your comfort zone. I didn't do what I'm doing now because I had to get out of my comfort zone. Mike Williams told me, Les Brown, you can be more than a disc jockey, the man about town, emceeing programs at the Bottoms Up Club and the Pink Pussycat and Jamaica Club, being a morning personality on WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. You can do more than that.
It's called take action, number one, on neglect, on errors, in discipline.
Life doesn't reward those who sit idle, waiting for success to fall in their laps. Too complacent, too busy, too much excuses as to why you have the key, but have yet to turn it. There's no substitute for action. It is the driving force behind achievement. But you have to be first disciplined.
Start setting up some disciplines. And if you'll do that, you'll perform a miracle. Now here's the second part of the miracle. Number one is do what you can. Here's number two, do the best you can. If that's not your philosophy, I would ask you to amend it. Let me give you the best of ancient script. Here's what it says. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might, do it with all your strength, and do it with all your power. What a good philosophy. That kind of philosophy will revolutionize your life if you haven't picked it up lately.
If your dream is different than the story you believe about yourself, you will always manifest your story. As I'm speaking to you right now, I'm interrupting your script. Some of you are stepping outside of the script of the story you've been written into.
It's not the economy that's going to determine your next 6 years. It's your philosophy about labor and about activity and about miracle and soil and seed and sunshine and rain and the economy and the banks and the money and the companies and the schools and what's going on. It's your philosophy and your attitude and then your ability to take action.
Jim Rohn said something. He said, we don't get paid by the hour. We get paid for the value we bring to the hour. And so what he did was he held himself accountable and he made a decision to do something different with his life.
Here's all life asks us to do. Make measurable progress in reasonable time. Just take home that little phrase, good phrase. We're asked in life simply to make measurable progress in reasonable time. We demand it of our children. How many years do you want your child to spend in 4th grade? About 1. If it looks like they're not going to make it, we pour on the pressure, called legitimate pressure, lack of results. Peer pressure, family pressure, school pressure, community pressure. Every other kind of pressure we can bring to bear what? You can't stay more than 1 year in 4th grade.
Excuses are the enemy of progress. Imagine seeing a rat in a cage running on a wheel going nowhere, confined to whatever is provided in that comfortable cage, while limited to the distance of that wheel. The actions you take will be what breaks you free from the chains of self-imposed limitations. Reject any notion of doubt you are not capable of anything you set your mind to. It's your mindset that determines where your path leads.
See, one of the important things about making it in life, you got to have some nurturing relationships, relationships that bring the best out of you. There are two types of relationships, toxic relationships and nourishing relationships. Toxic relationships, they bring you down. Toxic relationships, they point out all of your shortcomings. Toxic relationships, they will remind you of mistakes. But nurturing relationships, they bring the best out of you. Nurturing relationships, they hold you higher to a higher standard.
Embrace the challenges that lie ahead. They are stepping stones on the path to your success. The journey may look long and impossible, but the rewards are beyond imagination. Remember, champions are not born. They are forged through unwavering determination. Embrace the ones on your path who want to uplift and help bring you to the next level. We are here to help one another. So discern those who want to uplift you versus the ones who want to selfishly hinder your future.
I'm asking you, if you find yourself caught like I was at age 25, make the personal commitment today and say, I'm going to study and I'm going to change, and 5 years from now nobody's going to be able to say, how come you don't have a superior plan living in a superior country with superior opportunity?
If you do what is easy, that's coming up with excuses, giving yourself a pass. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
If you're looking for equities unmatched, do not curse the only thing you have. Don't complain about the only thing you have, which is seed and soil, sunshine, rain, miracle, and seasons. But start changing and processing and evaluating things like recovering today, and this process of change will take off for you. You will not believe what can happen in such a short period.
Never forget, the world doesn't owe you anything. Success is not a gift. It's earned through hard work and determination. Use the tools God has given to you, because if you want to taste the sweet fruit of accomplishment, then you need to open your mind to recognize the first step is what will get you to the next. No one else will do it for you.
Mr. Shoaff started out with something very, very important. Let me give that to you. He said, it's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. It's not what happens. What happens, happens to us all. He said the key is what you do about it. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. And he said if you will start that process of change, do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days, like picking up the books to read. Do something different, like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. And then he gave me another secret to success when he said, what you have at the moment, Mr. Rohn, you've attracted by the person you've become. What you have at the moment, you've attracted by the person you've become. Few little simple principles here. Once you understand these, it starts to explain so much. Now, sometimes it's a little tough to take, blaming yourself instead of the marketplace.
Pay attention to the time passing you by and where you are heading in life. Time is a non-renewable resource, a resource more important than money. Each passing moment is an irreversible choice. Invest your time wisely. Once it's gone, there's no turning back. Don't let procrastination be the thief of your dreams, because once that time is spent, you don't get a refund.
15 years ago, when I had 238 radiation seed implants, when I was first diagnosed with prostate cancer, I was reading these words and they grabbed me. He said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. We never heard your voice. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what gifts, what talents? Miles Monroe, a great speaker out of Bahamas, said the wealthiest place on the planet it's not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. Because there you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find dreams that never become a reality. There you'll find voices of leadership that the world never heard from. Maybe that's why one woman wrote in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That it was wrong. That you live your whole life playing small. And God had so much more in store for you. Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death only to realize that you've never lived.